Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Happy Mother's Day, and what's going on, guys? Strategic is back again. What's going on? What's going on? I don't expect a big crowd today. I hope I don't get a big crowd today. People are like, what? You don't want a big crowd on YouTube? No, because it's Mother's Day, man. And I want you guys to spend time with your family and your friends, etc. All the people who are going to be there to celebrate you. Because I know that majority of my audience are females. And a lot of you guys are mature and have children or grown children. So I want to make sure that you're having a good time. But if you have time to spend time with me and hang out with me, then I definitely welcome the company. Me, myself, it's really early where I'm at. It's noon. Everybody's kind of like still sleeping in. So I was like, you know what? Let me just slide in and do a quick Mother's Day special, show some love to all my viewers and let you guys know how much you mean to me before I get off of line and go spend time with my family. I know my youngest daughter, she wants to go to the mall so she could buy her mother a Mother's Day present. The oldest, she has her own car now and she's much more mobile and slowly gaining her independence. So she went out on her own and bought her mother a gift. Which was really nice. She bought her a nice plant or whatever, like a house plant, and she knows her mother likes plants, so that's what's up, man. Good for her. So we definitely have to go out there, do our thing, try and get some gifts back so we could be, we won't get that side eye from Mommy Dearest or whatever. But hope you guys are having a great day. Once again, happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you for all that you do. You guys know a little bit of my story. I share my personal life with you guys from time to time, and I was raised by a single mother in a one-parent household. My father was around for in and out for a little bit of my life, and then when I was in my early teens, he left for good. So we didn't see him until I was like 20-something. And now that I'm 40, he calls me every day. I'm not throwing shade. I'm a grown man. I have children. I've had that conversation with him. Explained to him what he missed out on and how he was a failure of a father, and he apologized. So, we talk from time to time. There's no ill will. We're too old for that. But it is what it is, right? So for all those fathers out there, make sure that you stay in your children's lives. And to all those mothers out there who bust their butt, sometimes working, because a lot of the misconception is that single mothers are welfare queens. That's not true. The majority of single mothers out there work 2 and 3 jobs to support their family. Think about that. Even as a man, I couldn't even fathom that. I couldn't even fathom raising my children on my own, having to work 2 and 3 jobs to support them. And yet there are mothers that go out there and do that every single day. So my hats go off, and I say hats plural because I wear many hats, go off to all the single mothers out there and to the mothers who are part of families as well. Because a lot of times when we talk about Mother's Day, we think like, oh, it's just for the mothers. Well, a lot of those mothers are a part of families with husbands or baby daddies, whatever lifestyle you want to live. It doesn't matter as long as you're doing it ethically and morally. And it's not an easy job. So big shout out to you guys from the bottom of my heart. It's personal for me. I love mothers. I love women. Does that sound good? Where my sound effects? I love women, huh?
Does that make sense?
What are we talking about right now? You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm just clowning. I'm being my usual self. So, today I want to go through a few things. I want to play for you guys. I played it a little bit for the Patreon. The Patreon. I want to play for you guys. Just some background on the killer of Kamani Latigue, who allegedly is her father. Everybody's saying it's her father, but then we hear rumors on the internet that it's not her father. That he may not be the biological father. I think I heard the mother say that before on some internet channels, but the law is viewing him as a biological father. That's what the law is viewing him. This guy's name is Darnel Jones. He goes by Darnel Jones Ogletree. I think Ogletree is his original name because he was adopted. So then he took on the name Jones, but then he has from time to time, especially in his many interactions with the law, gone between both names, and perpetrators do that often to try and confuse the system. so that when you look them up initially, it's hard to find them, or you might find a record that's not the complete record of what they have done in their life. And it usually takes for you to fingerprint the person to find out truly who they are. So they'll tell you, yeah, my name is Darnell Roundtree, even though their name is Darnel Jones or Darnell Ogletree. So that when you just put it into your device, whatever device, we have cell phones that could tap into people's records and stuff. If you just put in that name because you don't have anything else, it might show up there's no record for the person. So they do that to throw you off, to throw the system off. He's one of those. He's a perpetrator. It's very sad, this guy's history, because we have many, many, many opportunities to stop him in his criminal tracks. We chose not to. We chose to constantly give this guy chances, and we gave him so many chances that he had the chance to exassault and end the life of this beautiful little girl, Kimani Latigue. So I just felt it was important for you guys to know. There's no new information. I'm not breaking news. I'm just giving you guys a video that's going to tell you this guy's history. Then from there, there's some body-worn camera videos I want to show you guys that I think are very serious. And they're also very triggering. So I'm going to warn you on that before we jump into that viewer discretion is advised. Before we go any further, guys, we're going to be looking at these videos from an educational perspective. We could very well say it's from an entertainment perspective, but from my purview, I believe it's an educational perspective. And what gives me the ability to talk to you guys about these topics from an educational perspective is that I am an active duty law enforcement officer. I'm a detective, and I investigate sex crimes as a part of my duties. I've been investigating sex crimes some way, somehow, for different agencies before landing into the police department and getting promoted to the rank of detective. I've been doing this for 18 and a half years. All I've known my entire adult life is putting together sex crimes cases. All right, so I've been doing this for a long time. Like, you might have guys who have 20 years experience, and they might have 5-10 years of experience doing sex crimes or whatever. I still feel that my resume is unique. Since 22 years old, I've been investigating sex crimes cases. Since 22 years old. All right, on a high level, on a state level, now on a municipal level. So I got a lot of experience with this, a lot of training I've amassed over the last almost 20 years. And I'm here evaluating this using my training and experience to educate you guys. So viewer discretion is advised, and none of the material that we cover ever is for children. Everything is for 18 and above. So big shout out to everybody who's joining me today. Make sure that you hit that like button, support the channel. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this in, give you guys an update on Darnel Jones Ogletree's record. What did this man do before he had the opportunity to take the life of Kimani Latigue? Let's do it.
A Toledo man is sitting in the Lucas County Jail tonight accused of raping and murdering his daughter. Darnel Jones Ogletree is facing life in prison for the heinous crimes, but he was violent in the decades, years, and months leading up to his daughter Kimani's death, and for the vast majority of that time avoided the bars that he's now behind. 11 Investigates. Melissa Andrews has more on Jones's road to alleged murder.
He had her on this side, where that's facing us. He had her on that side right there, hanging off the balcony by her throat.
Angela Silva saw Darnel Jones unleash mayhem just a few doors down from her 4th Street home on July 29th, 2019.
And all of a sudden we started hearing things going over the balcony, like TVs and clothes, you name it. He was tossing it out the door and out the window onto the ground.
Jones choked his wife and held her over this balcony while Silva and other neighbors called 911.
He was this close to throwing her off that balcony.
Harold Glander confronted Jones.
And I yelled down there to pull her back over, and he almost dropped her. So I got myself down there, and I looked at him. I said, man, if you don't pull her back, I'm coming up. He goes, come on. So I didn't take no steps, and I was watching the girl. He almost let go of her.
Jones was found with a knife and pleaded no contest to domestic violence, while other charges were dropped. He was sentenced to 60 days in CCNO, but served no time, instead completing a substance abuse program. It's just one of many incidents in a pattern of havoc he unleashed starting at age 19, allowed by the light hand of the law. In 2011, he was cited for being intoxicated while screaming outside of his apartment, then resisting arrest. Just 3 months later, Jones and another man used a lighter and flammable liquid to set fire to this Toledo warehouse. He was charged with arson, pleading guilty to a lesser charge of attempted arson, and was sentenced to 4 years of probation. He had to complete treatment, get a job, and a GED. As a felon, he was never again allowed to have a gun. His next felony came in 2015 when he shot a gun at 807.
All right, so we're going down that path of destruction where most people with common sense, but for some reason our society at large doesn't have common sense. That path that's clearly telling us this person is a volatile individual that is unable to live in civilized society. Yet what do? We give him a break. Then what happens after we give him that break, ladies and gentlemen? He commits the very same crime that we have specifically told him not to commit. Like, you don't get specifically told, don't go out there and grape people. Don't go out there and murder people. But because he's a felon, they specifically told him, hey, listen, please don't commit a crime in general, right? But also, you must know that you're unable to possess a firearm. You are unable to. So they didn't tell him specifically don't grape somebody. They didn't tell him specifically don't murder somebody. But they told him specifically you can't possess a firearm. What does he do? He goes out, he gets a firearm, and not only does he possess the firearm, but he uses it. And what do? Well, they're going to tell you, we give him another chance, right? But before we jump back in there, I got to give a big shout out to U.S. Patriot Lady. Been a viewer and a supporter of the channel for a very long time. She's celebrating 17 months. 17 months as a member. 17 months. And U.S. Patriot Lady been with me since I was talking about politics and race relations and all that other stuff. So big shout out to U.S. Patriot Lady. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And guys, please make sure you hit that like button. So let's keep going.
Walnut. He pleaded no contest and was again given probation. He violated that probation in January of 2016 when he punched and broke a window at his work release program. The violence grew in 2017 when he smashed an alternator into a man's face at 18th and Monroe. The man required 20 stitches. Jones was charged with felonious assault and
could have killed the guy. Hit him in the face with an alternator. You guys know what an alternator is, right? You know how big and beefy they are? Now, if it's a truck alternator, it might be this big. If it's a car alternator, it's most likely this big. But they're super heavy. It's nothing but steel and copper. That's an alternator. Steel and copper. And he smashed that in that guy's face, could have killed the guy. What did we do, guys? Well, we gave him another chance.
Pleaded guilty to a lesser charge. He was notified on August 17th that he violated his probation. He was sentenced to CCNO for 6 months, but again served no time and was again given 2 years probation.
We basically asked him to kill Kamani. We asked him to grape Kamani. We begged for it. As a society, we wanted it to happen. All our hands are collectively filthy and dirty because he showed us who he was. He said, look at me, I'm a monster. What are you going to do about it? And we said, nothing. This happens time and time and time again. We say nothing. We get a guy who's abusing a woman. We arrest him. She comes to us and say, yo, this guy is stalking me. We say, oh, okay, no big deal. Yeah, get this piece of paper because somehow this piece of paper is going to be a shield for you for some bullets. Then the lady ends up dead and we say, oh, man, that's tragic. Wish there was something we could have did to prevent it. There's certain crimes that if you do, you should be locked away for a long time. Stalking is one of them. If you stalk somebody, you should do time. If we could prove it, because it's a slippery slope, we don't want people getting sent away to jail, accused of stalking, they didn't. But if we could prove it, that you're stalking somebody, you should go to jail at minimum 2 years with no violence. And if that stalking is connected to domestic violence, 5 to 10 years. We constantly see these guys showing us who they are. Look at me, I'm a monster. And we say, no big deal. Nothing to see here. And then when people end up no longer with us, we say, what a tragedy. Wish there's something we could have done to prevent it. There's always something we could have done, and most often, we just did not care. Collectively, all of our hands are dirty. Let's keep going.
In June of 2018, he was charged with disorderly conduct for being intoxicated while cursing and yelling outside his home on Star Avenue. 4 months after that, police got a call that a man was drunk and trying to break into a house at the same address. Police said Jones had glossy eyes, was slurring, and had a knife. He was charged with disorderly conduct again and a concealed weapon. He was put back on probation and sent back to treatment.
He's gone. Now he's caught again with a deadly weapon. A knife is a deadly weapon. He's caught with a deadly weapon. He's drunk. He's trying to commit a burglary, breaking into a residence he's not supposed to be at. What do we do yet again, ladies and gentlemen? Nothing to see here. Probation. What is probation? I thought probation was your one chance. How many different probations can they stack on top of existing probations? This is a failure of the criminal justice system. This is beyond soft on crime. This is just negligence. I mean, I don't even understand what people are even complaining about out there when they say that, oh, the criminal justice system is not fair and all this stuff. Like, what are we going to say? What, he had light skin privilege or something like that? Does he not count as African American? Because there's a black man who seems to be getting out of jail a whole lot, or rather, not even going to jail a whole lot when he should be. He gets caught drunk with the knife, and what do we do? Nothing. We do nothing. Big shout out to Lucy Doman with a $2 super chat. Says incentives drives culture. Adam Frieded, 2019, man. I agree 1,000%. We must be tough on crime. We must be tough on crime. It is the only way we're going to protect ourselves from these horrible people. There's a difference between white-collar crimes and violent crimes. People should not be locked away for white-collar crimes, all right? A lot of times you send people to jail for white-collar crimes and the victim never becomes whole. There should be an option to let the person, you know, like, let's say if you did let's say you embezzled some money and it's a reasonable amount of money that could conceivably be paid back. You're a bookkeeper and you embezzled $50,000. Well, you know what? If I'm the person who lost $50,000, I probably would rather my money than you be in a jail cell. So guess what? You go on probation. You have to get a job as a part of your probation, and I get 25 to 50% of your check because, of course, you need to survive. So I get maybe 25 to 50% of your check until your debt is paid off. That sounds a whole lot better to me than you pay me nothing, but you go to jail. And why am I saying maybe we should rethink how we sentence white-collar people? Because we need that space for people like him. Because I would much rather us be lenient with the white-collar person on the first offense, that is. If they keep doing it, then we send them back. We send them to jail and let them do their time. But on their first offense, why? Because we need space for people like him. He's been telling us for years, look at me, I'm a monster. And we just did not care. Let's keep going.
Jones was cited in May of 2019 for disorderly conduct. An affidavit states he was drunk on his 4th Street porch with a machete. He was also cited for threatening to shoot in the head the officer who arrested him. Then came the choking of his wife on the balcony in July of 20.
That one escaped me. Was that yet another one other than the one that he got caught outside the house with a knife? Was it another one and this time he assaulted a cop? I got to bring it back. Let's go.
Then came the choking of his wife on the balcony 4th Street porch with a machete. He was also cited for conduct. An affidavit states he was drunk on his 4th Street trying to break into a house at the same address. Police said Jones had glossy eyes, was slurring, and had a knife. He was charged with disorderly conduct again and a concealed weapon. He was put back on probation and sent back to treatment. Jones was cited in May of 2019 for disorderly conduct.
It's another one. Another one. So they sentenced him to treatment. He comes back out, and now another one.
An affidavit states he was drunk on his 4th Street porch with a machete. He was also cited for threatening to shoot in the head the officer who arrested him. Then came the choking of his wife on the balcony in July of 20. Machete. He was also cited for threatening to shoot in the head the officer who arrested.
So then he says he's drunk, he's on his porch, he's got a machete, and he's threatening to shoot the cop that cited him.
Then came the choking of his wife on the balcony in July of 2019. The problems continued in August of 2022 when he was indicted by a grand jury for an incident at a daycare. He was found drunk with a crack pipe.
So they just glossed over that, but that's the one where they were describing how he's holding the lady over the ledge, choking her, and threatening to drop her over the ledge. They just glossed over that one. Then came the choking of his then girlfriend, and then he got in trouble at a daycare. What? A few things happened during that choking of the girlfriend. Some serious domestic violence happened during that situation, but we just glossed right over that. Let's keep going.
For an incident at a daycare. He was found drunk with a crack pipe in the parking lot shooting a gun.
He's doing
He
crack.
served several months in CCNO.
He's in the parking lot of a daycare, drunk and smoking crack and shooting off a gun, and he just gets several months in the county jail. That's it. That's all we got to show for that. That's all we got to show. He's in that parking lot like he in Fallujah, shooting it up. Maybe I should get my carbine. Carbine. It's not a carbine. It's a carbine. Say it correctly for the gun guys come after me. And I won't be mad at them because you better say that correctly. That is a nice Ruger carbine that I own. He's shooting it up like he's in Fallujah with an AK-47. Shooting it in the sky. I'm using my imagination. I don't know that's what he did. I hope that's what he did. I hope he wasn't shooting it straight at people. They catch him. And what do? They once again give him a slap on the wrist. They were asking for him to do this to Kamani. Our society was asking for this to happen to Kamani. What more could he have done for us? He did everything he could to warn us. He did everything he could to tell us that he's a monster and we needed to remove him from our society. Guess who did not listen? We did not listen. He did everything he could to warn us about him. He is not to blame, ladies and gentlemen. We are to blame. Let's keep going.
That was 3 years before the murder of his daughter, Kimani Latigue, and his arrest in Columbus.
What's your name? Kill me.
Dude, show me your hands right now. Pull your hand out. I swear to God, pull your.
It's excellent tactics that the officer showed. Well, not excellent tactics. He could have shown a little bit better tactics by immediately going backwards and trying to get cover. But I loved how when they did shoot, he ran for cover behind that A-pillar in the back of the car. Excellent tactics. I love it. Actually, that would be the C-pillar. It depends on what type of car it is. But anyway, excellent tactics. Excellent tactics when he's retreating for cover while they're shooting. That's good training. See that? To cover.
Shots fired.
Perfect.
Shots fired. Finish in a second.
I mean, they got the reflex sights on there and all that. I wish they had better aim and ended his ass. I mean, we don't get those reflex sights. They got reflex sights, optical sights on them bad boys, man. You can't miss, baby. Y'all, those bullets were supposed to be true. You're supposed to spare us the trial. You know what I mean? Listen, nobody cared about Kamani. Understand that. Normally, I would want this person to live so that the family could get the justice that they deserve, but nobody cared about Kamani. Grandma didn't care about Kamani. It's my opinion. Her mommy didn't care about her. All those people out the woodworks. Oh, I was trying. I was in her life, and I was doing this, and I was doing that. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Notice the pattern in all of these cases that we're covering. All of these cases that we're covering involving these little girls. The pattern is negligent parents. Rumors floating around the internet that the grandma maybe, I'm just saying allegedly, was pimping out Kamani. We look at pictures of Kamani. She starts out as the picture-perfect little girl with the bow in her hair and a pretty white dress. By the time she gets to close to the last moments of her life, she looks like a dude. Now, some people say, well, maybe that's how she was comfortable dressing. That's possible. Other people saying, well, maybe she was going to grow into being a part of the LGBTQ community. That's possible too. Some people said, well, maybe that was just a phase she was going through. She was just a typical tomboy and whatever. And some people could say that the reason why she was dressing like that is because she wanted to make herself not attractive to all the men who were abusing her. And if you think that the only man that was abusing her was her father, you are a fool. That house was allegedly stacked with ex-offenders. Allegedly. And Kamani was not protected. There's nobody that loved that little girl the way she deserved to be loved. So we don't need him to live for the family to get justice and go through the healing process. I wish, these officers did an amazing job. I wish they had a better shot. All those gadgets that they got on their guns that they don't let us have on our guns in my department, I wish those gadgets functioned and they would have ended us not having to deal with all of this drama because this smirking, bumbling idiot is alive and is smiling, talking to his attorneys in court. He thinks it's a joke. He can't wait. He's a lifelong career criminal jailbird. He can't wait to be found guilty so he could spend the rest of his life getting 3 square meals. So he could do like they did in the prisons that I worked at, so that he could become a Muslim. So he could become a Muslim and fast during Ramadan, and then they put all their money together and they get buffalo wings and pizza and Chinese food and chicken lo mein and all that stuff. When Ramadan is over, they can eat all that nice food that we eat on the outside. They get that. So he could get his tablet and he could watch basketball games on his TV in his cell. Because the activists won now. And that's humane. Just having them in their cells looking at the walls, that's not humane. The activists, the inmate whisperers, the people who care more about the bad guys than they care about us, they've won the conversation after George Floyd. So now they all got TVs in their cells in New York State. They all got whatever they want, cable television. Woo! How many of you guys tell me that my 99-cent membership is too expensive? Some of these folks here say, my 99 cents, well, guess what? You can't afford a 99-cent membership, but these inmates could afford Cinemax in their cells, the NFL Play Pack in their cells, Hulu and Netflix in their cells. That's what he's going to get for the rest of his life. Fully stocked gym so he could go and get buff. Fully stocked commissary so he could go buy shrimp, frozen shrimp, chicken, beef, all of that. That's what he's going to get for the rest of his life. You think he cares? He couldn't survive out here. The real world was a prison for him. Now he gets to go and live with monsters in a structured environment that he's always cold in the summertime and warm in the wintertime. Where if he gets a cough, there's a nurse that's going to see him within an hour. When you got to make an appointment and hope that your insurance is all paid up, guess what? It's all free for him. He get cancer, they're going to keep him alive. Give him everything that you can't afford. They're going to put you to death on the streets, but on the inside, they're going to treat him. If he decides he wants to be a lady, guess what? They'll help him with that transition too. I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm telling you the realities of prison. I'm telling you the realities of prison. That's what he gets to see for the rest of his life. While we're out here trying to do the right thing, suffering, day by day, check by check, trying to make a living in this cruel world, guess what? The whole world is going to be mapped out for him. All he has to do is live. That's all he has to do. And then when Ramadan is over, he's not a Muslim no more. He's going to now be a Jew. And then he's going to get the benefits of eating the kosher food with the Jewish folks, with my Jewish brothers and sisters. Well, brothers, because this is in the jail. And then when that's over, he's going to become a Christian too. Because you know what? They get that Christmas celebration. This is stuff that I've seen in the real life when I was working in the prison system. This is real. This is not me being funny. This is not me exaggerating. This is how inmates game the system to get those luxury items. And lastly, I'm going to tell you lastly how this is going to work, ladies and gentlemen. Because look at him, Look at this guy right here. Some lady's going to get enamored with his braids. I don't know. Let's see if we can let it play.
In the parking lot shooting a gun. He served care.
Oh, come on. There we go. Look at him. Some low self-esteem. Popeye's chicken every other day woman is going to fall in love. And I'm not body shaming. I'm telling you from my perspective. She's going to fall in love with him through letters. And so now he's going to have a companion over the phone. And guess what? He's not going to commit no infractions in the jail. And jails don't judge you by your crimes on the outside. They judge you by your conduct on the inside, because everybody's got a bad record on the inside. So he's going to stay out of trouble for the next 5 years inside of jail. He's going to follow all the rules. He's going to be a model inmate. When the correction officer says, yo, I need you to mop that floor, he's going to say, yes, sir. Yes, sir, I'll mop that floor. Make it shine real good for you, sir. Whatever you need, sir. That's what he's going to do. And in 5 years, he's going to marry that low self-esteem, inmate-loving piece of crap woman, and then they're going to get conjugal visits. So in the next 5 to 10 years, he's going to have a wife. He's going to have sex every 90 days. He'll be able to spend time with her and enjoy her pleasures. He's going to have all the commissary he wants, all the phone time he wants. And guess what? We're going to be paying for everything. And Kamani's still going to be dead. That's the reality of how prison works. Why do you think I want Stephen Stearns to get the death penalty so badly? Because some of you guys think that prison is punishment. Prison is punishment for you. I'm a little claustrophobic. Prison is punishment for me. Prison is not punishment for career criminals. It's not punishment for people who spend their whole life incarcerated, in and out of incarceration. Prison is safety. Prison is home for people like Jones. Let's keep going.
And at a daycare, he was found drunk with a crack pipe in the parking lot shooting a gun. He served several months in CCNO. That was 3 years before the murder of his daughter, Kimani Latigue, and his arrest in Columbus.
What's your hands? Kill me. Dude, show me your hands right now. Bro. Pull your hand out of your... I swear to God, pull your...
Shots fired. Shots fired. Finish in a second.
Cat Eye says, I always wondered if it was a privatization of prisons that have made things into being what it is today. I don't think so. To be honest with you, all this stuff comes from state prisons and listen to activists and stuff like that. The private prisons have a profit motive, so they're not doing all the extra stuff that I just told you about. They're very bare minimum. That's real punishment. It's when you get into government-funded prisons, that's where you get all this woke stuff that's basically making prison a picnic for these inmates, all right? And when I say woke, I'm not doing it from a political perspective like, if you believe in certain things, you're a bad person. I'm specifically talking about the policies for the prison system. I don't care what your stance is on immigration, sexuality, taxes, finances, international relations, whether they're liberal or conservative, it doesn't matter. I'm simply and specifically talking about the prison systems. And yes, it is progressive and woke, the stances that a lot of these prison systems are adopting for these inmates. And my thing is, just don't go to jail. Once again, people make mistakes and that stuff is going to happen. We're talking about these people who are going to jail for 15, 20, 30 life in prison. They're there for a reason, okay? If you go to jail for a year or two, you don't need all these amenities because your focus is on home, and home is right within your grasp. You made a mistake, you go towards healing and doing better, and you go out there in the world and you never make those mistakes again. You know how many people have been to prison and never go back? Those aren't the people we're talking about. We're talking about these violent offenders like this guy who keep committing crimes and keep getting chances. Why have we changed our system to benefit them? What about the victims? What about the victims? Why do I have victims coming to me telling me, I thought about ma'am, can I just ask you a question? And I'm not judging you anyway. Why did it take you so long to come forward? I believe you. This happened to you. We're here to help you. To be honest with you, Detective Strategic, because I've heard and I've seen so many times that you guys will go get these guys. This is, I swear on everything. This is not me just entertaining you. This is what people have literally told me. I've seen and I've heard about people like myself coming forward with these allegations. And it's not that you wouldn't take this seriously, Detective Strategic. It's that I know that when they get found guilty, they're just going to get let out. They're not going to do any time. So what's the point in me coming forward? What's the point in me having this person know that I went to the police and told on them just so they could get out on probation or whatever and now come hurt me for telling on them? That's sad. That's a sad state of affairs. When the victims don't even believe that the police aren't going to do their job. They don't have no faith in the cops. I mean, in the courts. Usually, it would be that the cops aren't. There was a time when the victims would say, I don't trust the cops to believe me. We've come such full circle in our society that the victims know that the cops are going to try their best to get the bad guy, but they don't trust the courts to actually punish the bad guys after they've been arrested and charged and prosecuted. That's a sad state of affairs. The victims they trust the cops. They don't trust the courts. They don't trust the legislatures that put in the sentencing guidelines. It's to the point where they're like, yo, I know that the jury going to do their job, the prosecutor going to do their job, the judge going to do his job, but they're all going to be hamstrung by the legislatures who are listening to these crazy anarchists who have forced them, well, I can't say forced them because they have choices, convinced them to enact laws that will basically be light on the bad guys, light on the punishment for the bad guys. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. And I've spoken to you guys about this 1,000 times, especially when it comes to like people violating you as you walk down the street. The amount of guys that I've arrested multiple times for grabbing women's vaginas, grabbing their butts, grabbing their breasts, all that crazy stuff. You keep arresting them, and what does the legislature do? Oh, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's not a big a deal till it's your daughter. Miss Legislature, Mr. Legislature, Miss Senator, Mr. Senator. But you know what? None of them have had their daughters grabbed. None of them have had their sons molested in public bathrooms. So it's not that big of a deal. So a guy could do this 2, 3, 4 times, and it has to be the 5th and the 6th time for it to be serious. You guys know how difficult it is to get that felony? You have to be convicted more than 3 times within the span of 10 years, I believe, for it to elevate to a felony. So that means you could go grab somebody's butt on the street. The first time, you get no jail time. The second time, you get no jail time. The third time, you get no jail time. On the 4th time, now it becomes a felony because you've been tried and convicted 3 times prior for touching somebody's butt on the street. Now it's finally a felony. And even though it's a felony, they probably won't give you 4 to 5 years. They'll just probably give you a year or 2. So why don't we just decriminalize grabbing people's butts on the streets? What's the point? Because it's a nothing burger 3 times. 3 times over, it's a nothing burger. We got to get to the 4th time for it to be something. Make it make sense. Let's keep going.
Don't move. Don't move.
Having seen Jones' violent streak, his old neighbors on 4th Street aren't shocked.
I was surprised at first, and then I turned around and thought about it, and I was like, well, if he tried to kill one person, who's to say he wasn't going to do it again? But I didn't think it would be his own daughter.
They can't change their stripes. People can't change unless they want to.
Amen.
And I don't think he wants.
Some country bunking dude from a low-income community has more wisdom than all of these Harvard millionaire senators, representatives, and legislatures from the county level all the way up to the United States federal government. This dude got more wisdom than all of these people who think they know better than us. People who got their fingers on the nuclear button trigger. This guy right here has more wisdom than them. Why has he been able to figure out this basic concept in his 40, 50 years of life? Hard life too. And these mother effers who supposedly are the leaders of our country and our communities, they can't seem to figure out what he figured out not too long ago. Listen to him again.
People can't change unless they want to. And I don't think he wants to.
Boom. He has showed us for years he does not care about our laws. He does not care about our rules. He doesn't care about our social mores. He does not care about our morality. He has told us for years that he and thumbs his nose at our society. Yet, because like the activists say, we got to be the better people. We got to be the bigger people. We just keep giving him chances. We gave him chances all the way until he decided to grape and murder Kamani. Well, all that Kamani was going through, the constant sex assault, the constant physical abuse, the constant neglect, the constant violence against that little soul, she still went to school every day and got excellent grades. The day that she was killed was the day she was supposed to get her kindness award from school. She still managed to be an excellent person. She still managed to be a beautiful soul. But we cared more about him than we cared about her. His rights mattered more. Being lenient and being progressive with his rehabilitation mattered more. It didn't matter how many substance abuse treatments we sent him through. It never stopped him from putting down the beer. This is not beer, by the way. It never stopped him from putting down the crack pipe. It never stopped him from putting down the guns. It never stopped him from stopping the violence. It did not matter how many chances we gave him. He never changed because he didn't want to, no matter how much we wanted him to. But this dude figured it out. He figured it out, but we couldn't figure it out. Let's keep going.
Unless they want to. And I don't think he wants to.
That was Melissa Andrews reporting. Jones.
I'm stealing that, man. We got another genius in the chat. I'm stealing it. Skeleton with the migraine says toxic empathy. If there's a word or phrase to sum up what I'm talking about, that is exactly what it is. Toxic empathy. I'm going to tell you guys a conversation I had with a state legislature in New York State. And this is a bigwig here. I had a debate, and I was scared as hell because I didn't want this person to, I was in uniform. It was a community organized meeting, and I was there, and I was giving this guy my perspective as a law enforcement officer policing under the crazy-ass laws that these people pass. And mind you, I am a centrist, and I do believe in forgiveness, and I do believe that if you are poor and destitute, it is not fair that you should be sent to jail without any type of reasonable bail, and a rich person would be able to afford that bail and be able to walk free for the same crime you committed. So I do believe that New York was due for bail reform laws. So I'm not one of those people who don't believe in bail reform. I actually do believe in bail reform. I don't think that you should have a bail if you go into a store and steal something. I think you should have a bail if you go and steal something 3, 4, 5, 6 times. If it's your first time doing it, of course you shouldn't have a bail. If it's your second time doing it in 10 years, you shouldn't have a bail. We should try and figure out why you stole 2 times in 10 years. What can we do for you? Do you need a job? Do you need counseling? You need substance abuse treatment? Sure. But when you got people stealing dozens and dozens and dozens of times, you need to stay in jail because you don't care. So I had a debate with the dude, and I said, listen, I agree with you. We should have bail reform. But I'm arresting guys who are literally stolen 4, 5, 20, 30 times in a month because they know that they're just going to be released on desk appearance tickets. We need to change the law because you guys went too far. He said, no, you don't know as much as me. You're just a dumb cop. He didn't say that literally, but that's basically what he said. He dismissed me. He was very frank with me and nasty with me as though I wasn't one of his constituents as well. But because I had the uniform on, I was the enemy because these are progressive lunatics who don't care about regular people. They care about bad guys. So then one of his employees, I'm not going to say what employee because I don't want the person to get in trouble, because the show is getting big and I don't know if this person might remember me and know who I'm talking about. But they had many employees with them. And one of his employees pulled me to the side. And I'm also not going to say the gender of that employee to once again protect that person's job. And they said, listen, he knows what you're saying is correct. We see the data. We know that crime is going up because of the bail reform. I said, well, why don't you guys just modify it and change it? People like myself agree with the bail reform. You just got to tweak it. You just got to make sure that these bad guys aren't taking advantage of these new laws. And this person said to me, they're not going to change it. And I said, why not? They said, because they feel like if they change it, then the Republicans will say that they went too far. Look, they're changing because they went too far and they knew they were wrong, and they would use it as political fodder against them. So I said, are you telling me that they're refusing to change this over politics? And then the person smiled and said, well, what do you think? And then they walked away. This is one of this super top level Democrat legislative person's employees told me that even though they knew that the change in law was hurting poor communities and businesses, that they refused to change it simply for politics. That is when I went on my descent to change my political views. That's what opened my eyes to start looking at this from a different point of view. Because up to that moment, I was a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat. But once I realized that none of these political parties truly cared about us, that they cared more about political expediency and more about their own power than they actually cared about the people that they serve, that broke my heart. It shattered my ideology. It shattered my beliefs because I was on the ground level and I was getting hurt fighting these crackheads and these meth addicts who were constantly stealing, They didn't want to go to jail. Why? Even though they were getting out in 2 hours, they were getting out in 3 hours, they were going through withdrawal. So they would much rather fight me and get away than sit inside of a precinct for 2-3 hours for them to get processed out while going through withdrawal. It made my eyes open as to how this world really worked. And look what we have here. We'd much rather let a guy like Darnel Jones constantly get out than acknowledge that we made a mistake and fix it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot to this world that you just don't understand. And I hope that one day people will stop thinking, well, as long as I got a job, as long as I'm paying my bills, I don't care. As long as I got my health insurance, I don't care. That is the apathy of America. And these politicians feed on your apathy. That as long as your world is okay, you just don't care what's really going on. It's only a matter of time till their mistakes start catching up to you in your world, till that violence come to your suburban neighborhood. It's only a matter of time. That's why it's so important for us to pay attention and stop letting them put the wool over our eyes. I've seen it with my own eyes, ladies and gentlemen. They don't care.
Jones also served short stints in prison in 2012 and in 2022 for gun charges in Franklin and Lorain counties. In both cases, he scratched identifying information off of those guns. His next court appearance here in Lucas County is May 23rd.
So we got a comment from Christina Reynolds. She says, of course, some are just criminals and don't want to change, but the background checks on felons that are nonviolent makes moving on much harder. And I do agree with that too, guys. Like I told you, I'm a tough on crime guy, but I do understand people make mistakes, and we need to have empathy in our society to allow people to move on. And so, for instance, I give you an example. In New York, especially for New York City, you can't use a person's background to stop them from getting jobs for city government. So most of the people, when you go to New York City and you're riding the trains and you're on the bus, most of those people are felons. Not most, but a lot of them are felons. A lot of them are felons. And they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, anybody know anything about New York? That bus driver is making $120,000, $130,000, $140,000. That train operator is making $160,000. Why do you think all that money's disappearing in the MTA? You know, like, these people are making good livings. We should not hold that against people if they demonstrated to us that they're living good. If you are a robber, an armed robber, a convicted felon of a violent crime, and you did your time, and now 5, 10 years have gone by, and you've demonstrated that you've got good employment and that you have not hurt anybody else, and you're married with kids, we should wipe your record or seal it. But there should be a law that if you commit another crime, then that record gets unsealed and you pay the price of that new crime with the history of the crime that you did. But so long as you stay out of trouble, nobody should know that you're a felon. Why not? I'm good with that. I'm good with that. You're a convicted drug dealer and you've been out of prison 10, 15 years. You've done nothing wrong. Seal that record. Let you go and apply for a job and let them not have to know that you did that in the past. I'm okay with that. But for these people who constantly commit crimes, they have to be held accountable for what they've done. They have to. We have to lock those people away because they don't care about our society. We should have empathy for those who want our empathy. And for those who demonstrate to us that they don't care about our empathy, we should punish them. We should lock them away because they don't care about our morals. And so we should put them where they want to be, which is in prison. Let's get this new video up. Once again, happy Mother's Day to everybody who's entering the room and showing love. Appreciate you guys. All right.
Daughter.
So I'm going to show you a video of an evil mother who's going to get her comeuppance. You know what? You know what? I've seen that one already. We'll come to that one. I want to see one I haven't seen yet and react to it with you guys fresh. And let's see what happens. This one's kind of sad. It says, son beats mom to her ending, then acts like nothing happened. Wow. It just popped up. Didn't get to see it yet. We're going to see it together. Let's do it.
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
Big shout out to Daily Dose of Crime. This is the first time it popped up on my feed. They got 304,000 subscribers. Very successful channel. They're doing it. We can only hope one day we'll have 300,000 subscribers. We'll pray. We'll get there eventually. But big shout out to Daily Dose of Crime. Go check them out. I'm going to subscribe right now. Go ahead and do that so you can see me. I'm subscribing to it. And I hope you guys do as well. And, yeah, man, it's on fire. You know, when I see these houses, and some of you may have houses like this, and I'd encourage you to spruce it up. It's almost like it's an example of the insides, the feelings of the people who live there. Because it's absolutely nothing to go to Home Depot and get because this door will only take like a quart of paint, and go get a $15 quart of paint and just paint that door. It's nothing to take a washcloth and a sponge and some bleach and clean that door down. Get all that dirt and grime off that door. And then put some paint on that door. It's nothing to do that. It's nothing to go to Home Depot, because I do it all the time, and get the cheap window blind that costs $10. And every other week, the cheapest blinds at Home Depot, for some strange reason, they're always on sale. $7, $8. And buy a new blind, because this one looked like it was set on fire. And just change that blind. And so for $25, you could change the blind on that door, and you could paint that door, and you can have that door looking brand new without changing that door. But people won't do it. Why? Because it's a reflection of how they feel on the inside. I don't know how to explain it, but you don't have to live like that. You live like that by choice. Let's keep going.
Hey, come on with your hands up!
Sunday, November 6, 2022, St. Petersburg, Florida. Police receive a call from a concerned family reporting that they had lost contact with a relative and were unsure of her condition. They asked authorities to perform a wellness check on her. And according to the report, they had not heard from her in days, and the lack of response had caused growing concern. Officers were dispatched to the home to check in, but they had no idea what they were about to walk into. I'm Tyler, and this is your daily dose of crime.
Yes, come on. I'll give you permission. Go ahead, go in.
You got the key, that one's locked too.
How you lock that? Let me see.
It's a different key.
That's a different key, Sheikah. That's a different key.
Probably gotta go to the front.
Open it. Bust it open. I give you permission. You can't do that. Sheikah.
See if it opens the front door.
It depends on what information they have for being there, which will allow them to break the door down. So I don't know if they know that somebody's in imminent danger right now. If they're using a key to open up the door without a warrant, that means that they've already established that they have exigency. So the answer is yes, you can break that door down. You absolutely can. So if you have a warrant, you can break a door down. If you can articulate exigency that somebody's life is in imminent danger, you can 100% break that door down. The problem is a lot of police officers are not fully trained on the law of what they can and can't do, because a lot of this stuff is learned along the way. There is no course for you to take for a lot of this stuff. Policing is more like an apprenticeship than anything else. You guys know you could become a plumber from being an apprentice, right? You don't have to go to school for plumbing. You could go to school for electrical engineering, and then you have a fast track to get your electrical license, or you could go through an apprenticeship where you will gain the knowledge that you need to be an electrician, and you take a test, a licensing test, and then you become a licensed electrician and never went one day in electrical school. So there's more than one way to become a professional on things. And for a lot of police officers around the country, these agencies don't have a lot of money to send you to training. And so a lot of it is apprentice work, basically. You go to a basic academy, then you go out there and you're working with experienced officers and you're picking up along the way what it is to be a police officer. What are your powers and duties? What are your limitations? And a lot of times these guys don't know the law and they don't know what they can and can't do, when they can and can't do it. If you are using a key to open up a door without a warrant, then you've established exigency. You've gotten information that have told you somebody behind that door is facing imminent danger. You 100% can break that glass door down to go help that person. Let's keep going.
No, that's the only key she gave me. And I don't have to for any call the locksmith.
They won't do it, we will.
That's the only key she gave me.
No?
No.
On the map.
No, we're not doing all that.
Don't worry, we'll get on.
That's gonna make a bigger mess than we're gonna worry about at that point.
But she can be.
You don't know your law, bro. You don't know your law. Behind that door is a dead lady, buddy. You got to go to school. You got to educate yourself. Big shout out to DeLeo, who gave a one gift membership to a lucky person. In fact, you know, a big shout out to everybody who's joining me today. I really do appreciate you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give a couple gift memberships to the Patreon. I'm going to give a couple gift memberships to the Patreon. So, guys, thank you for being here. You're definitely going to benefit for it. So, yeah, big shout out. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. And if anybody wants to give a Mother's Day gift membership like Delia to the YouTube channel, I will definitely appreciate it. That would be awesome. I think people here need to be rewarded for showing love on this impromptu live on Sunday morning, Mother's Day. You guys truly are the creme de la creme of people who support this channel. So we're going to make it worth your while, man. You guys are great. So I got to work on that because I got to go to Patreon and buy it and all that good stuff. Give me a second. It's going to get done soon.
Open it up. We'll wait all that long time for a locksmith.
As they tried to enter the residence, officers found that the key provided did not match the lock.
All right, big shout out to Erica Garcia with a gift membership to the membership. Thank you for showing love. If you are one of the lucky people who get these gift memberships, please say thank you to the people who bought it. They're literally spending money. It's not free. They're spending money out their pocket to show you some love. So please do show that love. Say thank you.
Every entrance on the home was secured, and officers debated how to proceed. Tensions rose quickly, and the family became increasingly distressed at the lack of answers. Harriet Owens had lived there with her son, but it seemed like nobody was home, and he wasn't responding either. What was it that was really going on?
No, the rest of you come out and pop the door open.
I don't know how to break it down. One in the glass where the door at. We have to pay for our replacement.
Well, the rest of you come out with their pry tool. We'll get it open.
Yeah, because this is the only key she gave me when she changed the lock. This is the only key she gave me.
Okay.
So I thought it was the both locks, like normally how it used to be.
So you plan on getting a pry tool, right? Which means that you now have established that you have the ability to enter the home without a warrant. You have exigency. Why is it better to get a pry tool than just break the glass? That doesn't make any sense to me. Either way, the door is damaged. It doesn't make any sense what these cops are thinking, man. Break the damn glass, please.
Lasers, normal 1246.
How big is the brother?
Huh?
Is he a bigger guy?
Nah, he may be
No, he not.
70, if that.
Who?
Trail.
What he said?
How big is he?
Probably might be 160.
Yeah, 150.
Yeah.
He's small.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he has mental issues.
Yeah, he's definitely smaller. How much you weigh?
I'm saying he about Caleb build.
Yeah, but he's smaller than Caleb. Caleb
Yeah, a
bigger
little
than him.
smaller. And see, all her favorite people she talked to, they're here.
Yeah, I talked to her Friday.
Everybody said they haven't talked to her since Friday. And she called Nell every day. Nell said she hasn't talked to her since Friday.
As the officers continued attempting to gain entry, Harriet's other children mentioned their brother Jontrell Collins. Something about the way they spoke would catch attention. The entire family said they didn't trust him and added that he had mental health issues. As the moments passed by, so did the sense of dread. Why was there still no response?
That glass is probably gonna collapse.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah!
Hey, come on with your hands up! Keep your hands up! Keep your hands up! Where I can see them. Walk this way! Walk this way! Walk this way! Now! Now! On your ground! On the ground! Where's your mother?
Do not move! Do not move! Do not move! Do not move!
Is anybody hurt inside? Is anybody hurt inside? You don't know.
Get him in a car.
Hold on. We need another guy to go with him to the car.
Is your mother in the house?
Somebody trying to kill me.
Send me another.
Back up. I need everyone outside of the...
All right. I know the action is going right now. I just got to say, I'm about to drop a link. So I hope you guys are ready. Right now, 5 people can claim this. I might come back with more. Let's see how this goes. Now, this link is for a month. You get to be a member for a month. This link right here. I might come back with more. Let's see how this goes. Get ready. First 5 people. Do it. 1 month free gift membership.
Is your mother in the house, yes or no?
Somebody tried to kill me.
Is your mother in the house? Where is she?
Once the officers finally got the door open, they spotted a man inside the house and alarms went off. With his hands raised, Jontrell walked out of the home and was immediately taken down and handcuffed. Family members began shouting and the level of distress exploded. Collins denied that anyone inside had been hurt, but the nervousness in his voice had given him away.
Fred, go.
You need to stay here with me.
I'm staying with you. Back up. Guys, back up.
Rescue in here!
Rescue!
Rescue! Let's go! Back up! No! Buddy, please, no. Please, guys, please, no. Back up. I will talk to all of you. Please back up. Please, dude, I will, I promise. I promise. Dude, make a hole. In the house.
No, bro. Come on, P9. No.
Yes. Hey, I will talk to you.
Code 5.
Yeah. Hey, go clear the rest. I'll stay. Please, buddy. Please, guys. Please.
All right. Very sad stuff. I see people like, hey, thank you, I got one. I thank you, I got one. Well, guess what? You're not special. Because I'm about to drop 10 more free Patreon memberships. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys, when you go into that Patreon, you see that we get the free, not free, but we do the live shows and all that good stuff and all the content that we put on our Patreon. I hope you guys appreciate that. And I hope that when you're done with your free 1 month membership, that you'll continue to support the Patreon because it's a very important part of the show. So like I said, we're about to get 10 free Patreon gift memberships. That'll be a total of 15 that I give away for this show. So I hope you guys enjoy. 15 that I give away for this show. I'm not going to tell you when I drop it. I'm just going to drop it.
Not even far. Whoever's first one here, I need you on the street. It's the west side of the house. Hold right up towards the driveway, please. We need to get him in a car.
Yeah, I know. Then he's got to go.
You want gloves?
No.
Now, I got a problem with Christina Reynolds. Christina said, I would join anything that you have at True Crime with Strategic Eyes. You're amazing and worth every penny, and I hope they pay you well at your job because I think police are underpaid. Now, the reason why I got a problem with Christina is because she's trying to make me blush. And you don't ever want to make a black man blush. We turn purple, man. There's nothing to see here. Appreciate you, Christina. Thank you so much. And yes, we are well compensated. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to shit on my municipality. For a long time, we weren't, but now we are. And I'm very happy with my compensation. And it feeds the family. It definitely does. You know, could we get more? Absolutely. Should we be paid more? Absolutely. For the type of work that we do? Absolutely. But we are being paid enough to survive and to feed our family, and I'm very gracious for that. And at the end of the day, you don't come to public service to be rich. You come to get a comfortable retirement, and our retirement package is world class. And I'm happy that I made the decision that I made to give my life to public service, my adulthood, and etc., so that when I'm old, God willing, I have a long a retirement life. I feel like I'll be comfortable with good health care, etc., when I'm an old man and I can no longer work for a living. So that's what you go into public service for, your retirement. You never go to be rich. My friends, I have friends I went to high school. One works for Goldman Sachs. One is a record producer. They make a lot of money. They are very wealthy people, and they deserve it because they work hard. That wasn't for me. My sacrifice is for when I'm old. So I'm giving you guys, society, everything I have right now as a young man, as an able-bodied man, so that when I'm old, you guys and my hard work will take care of me. And that is one thing that's world class. You know, you work for Goldman Sachs, they don't have no retirement programs. Like, you got to pay into that 401ks and all that stuff. I have a pension. And to me, that is more valuable than anything on this planet. So thank you so much, Christina, for your kind words and for your support. And thank you to everybody else who's showing love. And, you know, because Christina is so nice, I'm just going to drop that 10 membership right now. Boom. Go get it, people. 10 memberships, man. 10 memberships to the Patreon. Go get it. Go get it right now.
Just hey, leave rescue in the house till I can get a car here to get him in the car. Okay. All right.
As the officers called for paramedics, the entire family broke down. Screams, insults, and uncontrollable sobbing would echo outside of the home, while Collins remained face down on the ground, motionless under an officer's restraint. Authorities still did not exactly know what had happened, but the reactions of John Trell's relatives said it all. They already knew what had gone down inside, and the grief became overwhelming.
All right, I have one pulling up. Let's go, get him up. Hold on, don't move. Stay right here.
Yo, big shout out to Christina for sending me that Cash App, man. It just came in. Thank you so much, man. Once again, very, very, very kind, man. Very, very kind. Thank you so much for supporting me. It's not easy. I appreciate you.
In her car, she's new.
Definitely.
We're coming to you, okay? Everybody stand back. Get them back. Hold around. Get them back.
Yo, this is the first time in my life I'm hearing people of my persuasion asking the cops to shoot the guy. Yo, did you guys hear that? I'm not making fun because it's not funny when people get shot by police or when police get shot. It's not funny, but it is it's like a little irony that you have Caucasian cops taking away a black man and the black folks are like, why didn't you shoot him? And obviously they're pissed off, and they have every right to be pissed off because this young man ended their relative, their mother, their aunt, their grandmother, etc. This guy's a murderer, killed his own mother. But it's very sad, but that's insane that we heard that. They said kill him. They gotta get him out of there.
Hey! Get in your car. Get in your car. Got it. Go around there. Go around there.
People, Ivana Saint says this family is insane, such a mess. I don't think so. I don't think this is a dysfunctional family. I don't think that they're doing anything wrong. I mean, maybe just popping in, like, they didn't hear from the mother. They called the police. They did the right thing. They tried to supply the police with a key that worked. They have all just discovered that this young man, the son, killed the mother. He beat the mother to death. And they're just grieving. So, yeah, we've had these situations where we hear dysfunctional people going crazy. I don't think this is one of them. I think this is a very human moment. And they didn't riot. They didn't attack the cops. They didn't attack the suspect. They're screaming. They're upset. But they are maintaining their composure and they're maintaining their distance. And they're not being vigilantes. So I think we do have to give them credit for it. They are just having a very traumatizing and sad human moment. This is not dysfunction. This is just profound sadness, to be honest with you. And big shout out to Jamie MP with a $2 super says, you are an amazing human. Thanks for everything you do. No, thank you. That's very kind to call me an amazing human. And big shout out to, I don't want to say the name because a name was sent, but big shout out to, I'll say Anashia. I hope I said it correctly. We're not saying full names because it's Cash App. With the Cash App, thank you so much, Anashia, for showing that love. Definitely, if you ever send me Cash App anybody, I will never say a full name because sometimes Cash App gives people's real government, and we don't want to put anybody's information out there. But definitely, thank you so much for the love. Let's keep going.
Slow down.
Oh, look at the little baby out there. Get that little baby out of there, man. Get that little girl out of there. She don't need to see all that sadness. Oh.
Hey, press, come over here, please.
Oh boy. You know, they actually had I actually declined. My boss was even like, "Hey, strategic, I thought you'd probably want to go to the child side." You guys know I investigate children and adults, but the age where I start investigating children is 13 and up. And they had a lot of retirements and opening in the child abuse squad that investigates 12 and under for both sexual and physical abuse. And that squad is actually located closer to my home. And so when they were, you know, like, hey, we need some volunteers or we're going to draft people. Fortunately, some colleagues and one colleague of mine who is an amazing guy, man. He's a God-fearing man. He's a pastor on the side. He's a really good guy. We were partners for a while before I got sent to a different team. And then I partnered up with my current partner she's amazing. One of the best partners I've ever had. And she's such a kind and intelligent woman. So when we're working together collaboratively on these cases, beautiful things happen because sometimes when I don't see things, she'll see things and vice versa. So it's a pleasure working with her, and the victims are that much more well taken care of that we're able to work collaboratively on these cases. But the same way with him. I mean, one time a young woman was sexually assaulted, and me and him went out, and we were able, it wasn't even our case, but we went out to assist that detective on the case, and we were able to catch the guy before he was about to sexually assault another woman. We caught him right before he was getting ready to do it again. We actually got medals for that, for our hard work in catching him before he did that. That was really awesome, to stop him before he got his next victim. And we got him from far too. I was like, yo, that's him right there. And he was like, yeah, let's go check it out. And I was like, yeah, let's go. That's him. I know that's him. And we went and we caught him as he was following the victim up to do the same thing with the same exact MO as he did with the previous victim that he had sexually assaulted 3 hours prior. And that guy volunteered. But my boss is like, yo, you know, I thought that you would volunteer because of the distance it is to your home. It's much closer. And I was like, man, I can't do it. I can't exclusively investigate children. And they don't just do sexual assault. Like, I've become numb to sexual assault. They also do physical assault. So now we're talking about infants with broken arms, beat up infants. I can't do that. I just can't see a little baby beat up. No sexual assault, none of that stuff, just beat up. I can't do that. And then to top that off, they got to deal with the infants who are victims of SA. I can't do it. 13 and up, I could deal with it all day long. I'm accustomed to it. I'm desensitized to it. My professionalism will guide me through the trauma. But when you start getting to these babies, oh, it's too much. It's too much. So big shout out to my former partner who's going to go over to the child side. I wish him nothing but luck. And we're going to miss him on my side. But I had that opportunity and I turned it down. I do see myself maybe going over there at some point in the future because I do want to get that experience under my belt. And it's also will be closer to home. But right now, I just don't see myself doing it. But it is what it is. Let's keep going.
That's what I'm getting. What's somebody wants to get a crime scene log. She's dead inside.
Okay.
And recording. She's dead.
In an effort to calm things down, officers quickly placed Collins in a patrol car and removed him from the scene. His presence only added fuel to an already chaotic moment. Soon after, authorities confirmed that Harriet Owens was dead. The family's worst fears had been realized, and officers continued their work as paramedics stepped in and a forensics team was called to determine whether this was the case of a homicide. They had to have evidence, and they needed answers, and they needed them fast.
Really?
Yeah.
So does he live there?
Yes.
What's his relation to her?
That's my brother.
That's what's what I want to put politically correct this. Does he have any mental issues?
Yes. I always told her he was gonna be the death of her.
Oh my God.
She always protected him. That was her baby.
Of course.
But I always said Montreal gonna be the death.
Officer, let her talk. All right. She doesn't need to be validated that that mommy protected him because that's her son. She understands that, but she's also saying something profound, that he has exhibited signs in the past of his ability to inflict this type of violence. So just listen. We need to teach these officers to start listening, okay? You guys see my interrogations. I talk and then I listen. I just listen. That we're not going anywhere. There's no timetable on this. Just listen, okay? Let's keep going.
And I hate, and look what happened. Go off with
Does
your
he
mom.
have? So I have no idea.
And then I just found out he beat his daddy and put his daddy in the hospital 2 months ago.
Man.
I didn't know that. I just found this out today. She never told me this. I would have told her come stay with me.
Right.
She never told me this.
Well, what's his name?
John Trail Collins. Y'all done been here several times.
John Trail. What's
Collins.
Collins.
Y'all done been here several times.
Name sounds familiar.
Cause one time I was gonna run him over with my car. Yeah, several times. My grandma is dead.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Just too much trauma. To get those kids out of there. There's too much trauma for these little kids, man. You hear that? This girl's like 8 years old. Too much trauma.
They better get him to check. I want to see my grandma so bad.
Oh my gosh.
I know that's
right here, right. Yeah.
One of Harriet's daughters and sister to John Trell told the police that her mother had always defended him despite his violent behavior. She said her brother had struggled with mental health and that she had warned her mother several times that he might eventually kill her. Just 2 months earlier, Collins had violently attacked their father, sending him to the hospital in critical condition, but still no one had taken action, and now it had all ended in the worst possible way.
All right, I'm gonna pull you out since I wasn't able to search you. I'm gonna pull you out of the car and I'm just gonna have you stand right here.
All right, first of all, you never put a perp in a car unless you search them. I understand that they felt that there was an exigent circumstance where they had to put them in a car because maybe the family would hurt them or something. You have to search a perp. You have to before you put them in that police car. You have to. Let's keep going.
I'm gonna search you, okay?
What they do, just throw you in the car or something?
Pretty much, yeah. You have anything on you that will poke me, stick me, or harm me?
See? She pulling stuff out of his pocket that should have never been in there.
Nope. Keep facing the car, please.
It's the weakest search I've ever seen in my life. Why are you backhand searching him on his waist area? What are you doing? Grab, squeeze, make sure that you get a real good search going. She needs to be trained how to search. Let's keep going. The only thing you're supposed to backhand is if you're a man and you're searching breasts. That's the only time you backhand. And a female officer, you don't backhand breasts. You search those things because you're a female. Allegedly, you're not supposed to be turned on by that. I don't know. I would never be turned on by a female perp. You know what I mean? You're a perp. You're not a woman anymore. You're a perp. So your breasts do nothing for me. You are a perp. You're in those cuffs for a reason. But anyway, you don't backhand on a male. You don't do that. Let's keep going.
Can I have you widen your stance for me, please? Can you go ahead and step out of your shoes for me? Just go ahead and slide them off. Go ahead and lift this foot up, back towards me. Hold your balance.
And there's some socks he got on. What's the point of having socks on if there's holes everywhere? Big shout out to Music, who's a recruit member. Thanks for coming through, supporting the channel. He might as well just put them shoes on without socks. His toes is out, his heel is out. My man crazy. Let's see what we got. This numbskull. Oh boy. And this one boils down to what we talk about on this channel all the time, the need for mental health, man. The fact that we don't have adequate mental health treatment in America.
Showing no signs of remorse and no visible sadness. John Trell Collins, age 29, would be arrested and charged with second-degree murder after allegedly beating his mother to death. According to his statement, he had used his fists and an unidentified object to strike her. He now faces years in prison, pending the circumstances of the crime and his criminal record.
Guys, there's a possibility this guy might be found to be criminally insane. He has a documented history of mental health illnesses. He might get off and just go to a mental health institution. So don't think for 1 second that this guy is going to be doing 25 to life. We have a problem with mental health in our country. We do not invest in mental health in this country. It doesn't matter who's in power, Democrat, Republican, Independent, it doesn't matter. Nobody spends on mental health. It's very expensive. And it's basically serving a niche community, a community that typically doesn't vote, a community that typically people don't care about. They don't care about it till it affects them personally. So there's no incentive, there's no motivation to actually address mental illness. If this guy needed to be in an institution, not in his mother's house. And we ask, well, why don't they get help? Well, where are you going to get help? All right. Florida has a lot of great things that they do. They don't have a lot of money to spend on things because they don't have an income tax. Okay. I'm not saying you should have an income tax. I wish I didn't have an income tax coming out of my salary. But guess what? Far right is not good, far left is not good. Sometimes you got to meet in the middle because they don't have an income tax. There's not a lot of money to go around. What institutions is that mother gonna get her son to? They didn't look like they were rich people. They looked like they were just getting by. What money did they have to go put this loved one inside of a mental health institution? What state program was going to house him and spend $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year to house him in a mental health hospital? There's not that many opportunities for people to get help for their loved ones, so then they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do you kick the loved one out on the streets? This person that you gave birth to, this person that you raised, this person that you love, do you kick them out and put them on the streets? Now they're into drugs. Now they're sleeping on the side of a road. They're shooting up with needles. They're catching incurable diseases. They're getting in and out of prison. They're getting victimized on the street. Or do you keep them in your home and you try and nurse them back to health? You at least give them someplace safe to stay. There's not that many options that people have when they're dealing with these type of individuals with serious mental health concerns, because our society does not value treating mental illness until what? Until something tragic happens. And we talk about it. We still don't spend any money on it. Big shout out to Galen with 20 gift memberships. So we gave away 15 Patreon memberships. I've given that away. And right now we got what? 22 memberships, 20 from Galen and 2 from other people who've shown love. This chat is lucky. Now, guys, you got to make sure that you turn on yes, that you're willing to accept gift memberships, because some people are like, well, I never receive a gift membership. Well, number one, YouTube does it at random. But number two, YouTube is not going to give it to you if you have not selected that you're willing to receive a gift membership. So make sure that you do that, because we give a lot of gift memberships away on this channel because we have a very generous audience. So, Galen, thank you so much for supporting the channel and showing that love. I know that was very expensive for you. That was not cheap what Galen just did. It was very expensive for them. So thank you so much, Galen, for giving the gift of membership to all of these lucky people who are in the chat. I hope if any of you guys are in the room, you make sure you thank Galen, because that was very, very, very kind of them. Really awesome. All right. Do I have one more? Where we at? An hour and 29 minutes? I don't know. Maybe we'll do one more. Let's see. Police confront evil mom over horrifying crime. I don't think I saw this one. Let's see.
Okay, you don't need to touch me.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, let's do it.
Catch another car.
Thursday, August 11th, 2022.
All right, we're not gonna watch all of this. All right, so it's on the daily crime thing, the daily dose of crime. Sorry, I picked my nose. It's itching. We're not gonna watch all of it because I gotta go. So, but I'm gonna give you a taste of it. This is out of good old Florida again.
Flagler County, Florida. The county sheriff's
Everything happens in Florida.
office received a call from a distressed woman crying as she reported that a co-worker was assaulting her daughter. Authorities were dispatched to locate the woman and get her side of the story. And as more calls began to come in, the situation started to seem truly alarming. A child appeared to be in danger. I'm Tyler, and this is your daily dose of crime.
How's it going?
Tyler, you really talk like that, or you just talking like that for YouTube? I'm strategic, and this is your daily dose of strategic stuff. I'm just joking. Nice channel, man. Good for you.
I'm here to check on, is it the daughter? Is Priscilla here?
Yes.
Okay, can I talk with her?
Yes.
For a second?
How are you guys today?
All right, how are you? Who are you to Priscilla?
Boy.
You're Priscilla's boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay. And
So, Rhiannon October, hope I said that right, says, can I get a free membership? I watch every video and have for a while now. We don't have any control over who gets a free membership. Unfortunately, it's totally at random. You have to make sure, though, that you have gone into your settings and you've clicked that you are willing to receive gift memberships. And also, obviously, you haven't done it yet. It may not be something that you can do, but I just want to remind you, we do have the most affordable membership on YouTube. That's 99 cents, guys. And you guys got to understand, YouTube takes 30%. So after YouTube takes their 30%, I'm just getting like 60 cents on the dollar, right? So, you know, after taxes is 60 cents on the dollar. So I'm basically selling my lowest tier of membership for 60 cents. That's what I get, okay? So 99 cents is the cheapest tier. So if you can't afford that, you can become a member on your own at 99 cents and be able to enjoy some benefits as being a member of True Crime Strategic. But if you can't afford that, and that's okay, please do go into your settings and make sure that you click yes so that you could be eligible to get a gift membership. And remember, I don't choose, and nor do the generous people who buy gift memberships choose. It is totally at random by Google with the people who have clicked yes that they're willing to accept gift memberships. Let's keep going.
Priscilla's daughter's here as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
And Foxy corrected me, but you didn't hear what I said, Foxy. I said after taxes. So it's going to be 70% because they take their 30, but then I have to pay taxes on that. So I'm only seeing 60 to 50 cents on that when you subtract taxes. Let's keep going.
40 Alpha Delta Lima 0 Foxtrot 0.
Can I help you?
So we're here, I guess, is there an issue like with your daughter or something?
Nope.
No? Is your daughter home?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Look at both of them. Both of them got their hands on their hips. They guarded. But the boyfriend ain't really do anything. He's actually going to help to a certain degree, even though if I was on scene, I would make sure he'd have got far away. But he's not. He wants her not to act the way that we're going to see her act in just a moment.
All right. Do you want us to go any further with what we're doing?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Turn around for me.
What's going on?
The suspect, identified as Priscilla Jocelyn Florentino, stepped out to meet the officers at her front door. Her responses were short, and she adopted a defiant stance in front of the officers. She refused to allow them to speak with her daughter and didn't seem willing to talk about what had happened. But how bad was it really for her to try and flee from the authorities?
Can you, Priscilla? Man, don't do that. Okay, Priscilla, stop. Don't do that. Okay. Priscilla.
Comes down.
I got her. Priscilla, can you stop? Are you kidding me? Baby,
You're not under arrest.
You're not under arrest. There you go.
Let me go.
Okay then. You guys, please don't. Please stop. Babe,
Relax.
Let me go.
No, we can't let you go.
They just want to talk. You don't gotta.
He don't need to touch me.
Okay, guys.
He don't need to
Back out.
I want to stand up.
Volatile. I don't even know how people like build relationships with volatile people like this. Like, she is so volatile, man. I could never be with a woman like this. Never in a million years. Like, I'd run away immediately. The first argument, I'm like, oh, okay, this is not gonna work. Have a good day.
Stop touching me. Please just let me shut it up alone. Shut it up alone. Look, shut it up. Okay, get up. Get up.
Stop touching me.
Okay, stop.
Let me
You
go.
don't have a choice.
Let me go.
Calm down and get.
Can you stop? Please stop. For me. I know, but for me, please.
Listen, if she catches,
They just want to talk.
So let me go.
Can you just for like 2 seconds?
My
There you
hands
go.
are
There
off
you
you.
go. Now get up and talk civilized. Come, talk civilized.
Look at that. Put her ass in cuffs. That's what she need to do.
I'm talking.
Okay.
What's up?
You guys,
It's too late, man. You chase after and you put hands on her, you got to put her in cuffs. Otherwise, you just use force for no reason. Well, you know, that's considered force, what he just did. So you have to arrest her because you have to justify the force that you did. You grabbed her, she fell to the ground. So you can't rescind that now like it never happened. That's a liability right there. So another thing, guys got to really understand how the law works. You just use force on her. First of all, when she turned around and fled, that gave you probable cause to arrest her right there because she's running from you. You know, you're sitting there, you're talking to her, it elevated from just you doing an investigative stop to an arrest because she ran. You know, she just raised your suspicion to the point where you believe that she committed a crime because she decided to run away. She didn't even just turn around and walk away. She turned around and literally tried to run away and shut her door in the belief that the police would not be able to get her because they don't have a warrant. She's just a perp. Now you use force. You caught up to her. She fell to the ground. You holding her hands, pulling on her. That's force. You have to arrest her in order for you to justify the force you just used. They're going to end up arresting her anyway, but I would have just kept going. It's a wrap. You know, because actually he told her to put her hands behind her back. I just remembered. So he actually said he was going to arrest her. So there's no now taking that back. It would just keep escalating because that's what it would lawfully. That's what it would need to do. Now some of you guys will look at it and say, "Well, strategic. Look, all's well that ends well." You know, they stopped, they backed off, and so you know they did the right thing, I guess. But technically, they were trying to arrest her. She fled. She resisted arrest. They should have just put her in custody and kept it moving. But anyway, let's
I need to stand up. I don't need to stand up.
Baby, can you guys tell me what's going on first?
Yes, we will. Stand up.
She's being detained. She's being detained right now.
Relax before you catch another.
All right, so it's good. They kept going. That's good. They kept going. I thought they let her go, but they kept going. They had to keep going. So I stand corrected.
You're not catching nothing, babe. Are you really Baby, are you kidding me? Mi amor.
Reason to arrest me.
Baby,
You're not mi amor, baby. You think he's the man of the house? He's talking to her like she's a child. You think this guy's the man of the house? See, I'm telling you, man, these ladies be looking for the right ones. They be looking for the right ones, these beta males that they could control and allow them to act a freaking fool. That's why she's out here beating on this little girl and doing all kinds of crazy stuff because nobody's checking her ass. But let's keep going.
Under arrest.
You're not under arrest.
All right, so let me go.
They're gonna detain you to talk to you, babe. Ellos no te van a llevar, no la van a llevar, ¿verdad?
Va a ser tú.
No, ellos van a venir. No, it's not. Ya.
Tú me la
They're
jodiste.
going to detain you, baby, and talk to you.
Yo no te jodí nada. Mi amor, yo no jodí nada.
Porque tú bien sabías que no le tenías que
Y'all like that, ladies? Y'all like that, baby? Y'all like that, huh? So y'all not gonna like me. I don't got that kind of flavor.
Mi nombre.
Yo no le di ningún nombre.
Tú dices, yo vivo aquí, yo no sé nada.
Tú no, mi amor.
Lárgate de mi casa.
Stop.
Lárgate de mi casa.
Listen.
Que yo me las tengo que arreglar ahora.
Now, I think somebody said in the end that what she told them is that it's your fault that I'm getting arrested because you let him in my house. Somebody translate what she just said. Translate what she said. I know we got a lot of Spanish speakers in the room. Translate what she just said.
Ya.
Tú me la jodiste.
Yo no te jodí nada. Mi amor, yo no jodí nada.
Porque tú bien sabías que no le tenías que dar mi nombre.
Yo no le di ningún nombre.
Tú dices, yo no vivo aquí, yo no sé nada.
Tú no, mi amor.
Lárgate de mi casa.
Stop.
Lárgate de mi casa.
She told him to get
Que
out.
yo me la tengo que arreglar ahora. Lárgate.
You guys, can you tell me what's going on?
Yes,
Please.
that's what we were trying to do in the first place.
Please.
Okay?
Habla conmigo.
So
Talk to me.
right now she's being secured in
Just-
lieu of a criminal investigation. Okay.
No investigation de qué? Of what?
All right, we have another deputy on the way to explain, okay?
Yo tenía que abrir la maldita puerta.
So she blaming him like, yo, so that's what they say in the chat. They also translated it there on the video too. So that's the translation. Big shout out to Daily Dose of Crime for translating what they said. That's awesome that they actually translated what she said in English on the subtitles so we can understand what she's saying. That's freaking hot, man. I just noticed that. And so she's like, yo, you let him in my house. Get out my house. See, that's another thing. You messing with these women and they got all the power because you staying in their house because what it is, you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. A man should have his own ish. A man should always have his own ish. Well, that's a different conversation. This ain't one of those type of channels. Let's keep going.
Criminal, okay.
Okay, let's go outside.
But criminal, okay.
Listen, she's not under arrest. Right
Okay.
now she's detained.
Okay, I know.
Touching me.
Okay,
Stand up.
just
You need to try and
Don't
relax.
touch me.
You need to try and relax. You're already caught an extra charge.
I'm gonna talk to you, okay? If she keeps
Please,
this up, she's got another
please.
charge.
Get the f my
Right
face.
now?
Stay looking for me. Now you.
She already hit me in the hand, so she's catching the charges.
Okay,
Boss, man,
stand up.
please.
No, we're not doing that.
She-
She ain't gonna
she-
start.
Like-
Bro, they're doing you a favor. Get another woman, bro. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care if you felon bae or if you simp bae. It don't matter, man. Get another woman, bro. Get another woman. Don't be enamored by them hips she got and them leggings. She's not worth it. Get another woman.
We gave her plenty of warnings. We were being patient with her. She's still acting up. So this could have been simple. We could have.
I didn't want nobody to touch me.
You don't want to talk to me. I'm not talking to you.
Mi amor, okay.
I have domestic violence issues and I don't like nobody touching me.
Okay.
All right, don't touch me.
Who's the problem for the domestic violence issues? Is it you or the other person? Because it looked like you the problem. It looked like you the one who probably be beating on people.
Just
Okay.
I won't speak as long as you don't touch me.
Step back before she does
Lord.
something.
Okay, baby. No, she.
Bro,
got you.
pack your stuff up and go. You got like 2-3 days before she get bonded out. You don't got to rush. You in the house. She going to go to jail. Take your time. Pack your stuff up. Get the hell out of here.
Look, she's angry. I get it. Okay.
I don't like nobody touching me. You don't touch me. I speak like a civilized human being.
Oh, Lord.
Until you disobeyed the word coming back inside.
Oh, Lord.
That's where it escalated.
All right, why don't ain't nobody touching me?
Okay.
I get that, but if you give me a reason to touch you, I'm gonna do it.
You don't have no reason to touch me.
all right.
Okay, no reason.
I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. I don't like you.
Okay, do you want me to talk to you in front of your kids? Or you want to talk
Sure.
civilized
We can
outside?
talk right here.
Just talk to me.
Okay.
That's cool.
I'm talking.
I don't know any of them.
This one.
I can't put money. I can't call you because I don't got money on my thing.
A little Spitfire. She is Spitfire. Mi amore.
Process, take her statement, and gather evidence, but things weren't going to be as straightforward as they had hoped since there were serious discrepancies between the accusations and the alleged events. They needed to find the truth, and Priscilla had the chance to
She messing with the Bone Thugs in Harmony. Don't he look like the Bone Thugs dude? He look like a Bone Thug.
defend herself in front of the authorities.
Take a seat in here, okay? Before I ask you any questions, I have to read you these. We'll go from there. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions, and I have him with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer questions without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. You understand each of these rights I have explained to you.
Yes, sir.
Have you previously requested any law enforcement officer to allow you to speak to an attorney?
No, sir.
With these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What happened?
Calm now.
At the hotel. You start me from the beginning.
I was at work. I left the hotel because I was going through my brother's phone. because yesterday was the first day of school. She turned off her phone on me. She didn't come home till about 8:30. She's 12 years old. And I took her phone from her and I went through it this morning. As I'm at work, I see what was going on. I asked my boss if he need permission to me to go pick her up out of school. I picked her up out of school. I brought her back to work with me. I stopped here at home. I grabbed my clippers and I cut her hair.
All right, so this, if you didn't hear, basically the little girl, she's alleged the little girl didn't come home to 8:30. She's 12 years old. First of all, your parenting is what has a 12-year-old thinking she could do that. If I drop my 12-year-old off in the middle of wherever at 8:30, she's going to cry and call 911 because she wants to go home. Your parenting makes that little girl want to either be fast. I'm not saying she is. I don't even like to use that terminology, but it's the most expedient way of painting a picture for you. Is your parenting is making her fast. Your parenting is making her not want to come home. Is your parenting is making her have problems at school. The little girl's having problems at school because she's probably a reflection of her mother. And so then she decides to take the little girl out of school early, take her to the job, and shave her head. Because the little girl loves her hair and she thinks her hair makes her look pretty. She decides to shave her head, and smack her upside the head and put a metal pole in her mouth, a metal option. The reason I'm fast tracking this because we got to go. We're already at an hour and 45 minutes. And she puts a metal rod in her mouth and says, you want to suck pee-pee? Suck on this. 12 years old. You want to suck pee-pee? Suck on this. Puts the metal pole in her mouth. That's like some, what they call that thing? Guantanamo stuff. She basically torturing a little girl, and she calls that parenting. And she mad that she in cuffs now. So now all the employees are seeing this stuff happening. They start calling cops like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, we're being traumatized. And the manager is like kind of like on her side, at least that's from her perspective. Wouldn't doubt me because I'm pretty sure not doubting that she's not smashing a manager. These type of people will do anything to get over. And so he's like, oh, come on, maybe you shouldn't do that. It's all good. Whatever, manager should be fired if that's what he really was doing, in my opinion. If that's what he was doing, the way she was characterizing her interaction with the manager, should be fired. But anyway, they called the cops, and now she's in the situation she's in right now.
I told her, did you understand why I'm doing this? She said, yes, because it's not the first time you do it. Okay. This is the third time I have cut her hair because she wants to be doing things that are not age appropriate for her age. That's what it really comes down to. I'm not going to beat her. I'm not going to punish her. I'm not going to lock her up. I'm going to take away what hurts her the most. Her hair. She loves her hair. Her hair is her thing because she knows it makes her look beautiful. So I said, guess what? Now you have no hair. That's your punishment. And that was it. And the people at the hotel, I know what it was. It was.
So this is a tablet of mine's. I use this for the show. I love this tablet. It's a very expensive tablet. This tablet is like $1,200. I didn't pay that amount of money for it. Because with Samsung, like when you are in their ecosystem, whenever they come out with a new device, they give you tons of incentives. And at some point, I paid $1,000 for the 3-year-old version. And since every year when they come out with a new version, they give me so many discounts that these tablets usually cost me $200. This is the newest one. This is the S10 Ultra. And this one cost me $80 because of trade-in and being a Samsung member and all. $80 for this. Traded in the S9, got this S10 with the trade-in and all the incentives. I paid $80 for this. My son got a tantrum. He's 6 years old. He broke it. You can't see it. It's still usable. The screen is cracked. But I have a warranty. Did I go beat my son up? Nope. I told him he broke it yesterday. I didn't know. I found out today. He's like, Dad, can you help me look for my Nintendo Switch? And we're looking for the Nintendo Switch, and I see this on the floor. And I said, oh my God, because I heard a big bang when he had his tantrum yesterday. And I go check it and I say, oh my son. I said, son, he said, I didn't break it. I said, I know you did. And I'm disappointed that you did it, but we'll talk about it later. And I went and I contacted Samsung, and I'm going to warranty it, and they're going to fix it for $29. Really good deal. And I'm not upset. And I didn't go crazy on my son because that doesn't teach them lessons. If your daughter's doing these things and she's out of control, beating on her, putting metal poles in her mouth, cutting off her hair, that's not going to teach her that what she's doing is wrong. It's going to teach her fair. It's going to teach her that when she's angry, she should act like you. She's going to grow up and do the same things that you're doing to her children, and the cycle will continue. You have to talk to your children. You have to talk to them. You have to make them respect you so that when you say you're disappointed, that it means something to them. And then you have to teach them right from wrong. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to my son. I'm going to say, hey, you know, as much as you love your Nintendo Switch, you know, I like my tablet. And it hurt my feelings that you broke it. And hopefully that'll teach him a lesson, not to do it again. Life goes on, though. I don't love this tablet more than I love my son. So I'm not going to abuse my son or hurt my son simply because he took something trivial and materialistic away from me. There's got to be a better way. What she did was abuse. There's no way around it. Corporal punishment doesn't fix things. They only make them more broken. At least that's my perspective. Let's keep going.
Monica, I don't know her last name, and I know where she lives. She came in to ask me a question. She said, oh my God, what are you doing? And I said, Monica, do me a favor, mind your business. And she said, oh my God, you need to pray, you need to do this, you need to do that. I said, do me a favor. She's not your daughter. Mind your business. And she said, but you cut her hair, you cut her hair. Mind your f***ing business. And she left, and then that was it. And then my boss called me. He said, what are you doing? I said, I told you what I'm doing. I picked up my daughter, and I'm cutting her hair. He said, from a parent's perspective, I understand what you're going through. He said, do me a favor, just chill out. I said, I'm not hitting her, because there's cameras all over the hotel. I said, I'm not hitting her, nothing. You could run them cameras and check it. He said, all right, just chill out. I said, yeah, I'm cool. I stopped. I cut her hair. I cleaned up the mess. That was it. She was sitting there. I was sitting there. And then the same person that called, she was like, you need to go because you're scaring everyone. I said, I just spoke to my boss. I don't need to go because of you. So I called him. I said, Daniel, you want me to go, whatever? He said, no, you're fine. She called someone else. I don't know who she called. At that point, I guess it was Daniel's superior. And he said, how about this?
Somebody said she probably jealous of her daughter. I see that a lot too, you know. I do see that a lot. I don't know why. You know, my son, he barely looks like me. He's handsome. You know, I ain't handsome. He's handsome. He got light eyes. He got the nice hair and all that extra stuff. I mean, all the stereotypical things we consider beauty in America. You know, I'm not jealous. I'm happy. Like, yeah, my son is going to be a lady killer. Good for him. You know what I mean? You know, I don't understand why some parents are jealous of their kids. You could tell. Look at her. She got the tats all over the tits and the, you know, multiple jewelries and the lip ring and the nose ring and all that stuff. And some of you guys may think that's fashion. I mean, I think like when you get a certain age, it's like, that ain't it no more. You know? I don't have not one tattoo on my body, and now that I'm 41, I don't have no desire to do it. It's like, why? You know? I just don't care. I just want to work, make money, and feed my children. That's my life now, you know? Teach them lessons, enjoy these moments with them, and prepare them for the world. I don't want to go to the clubs. I don't want to go get drunk and lit and all this extra stuff. Maybe I'm boring. Maybe I should be doing that at my age, like some of you guys do. I have no interest in it. I want to make money. I want to take care of my kids. I want to leave them a legacy that they can remember for the rest of their life. I want to be a role model for them. That's my life. Right? It is what it is. You got these people who have children and they still want to live the vida loca. They think they're missing out on something. That's what your late teens and your 20s are for. When you get to our age, 35 and up, it's time to now be an adult. It's time to now focus on giving back to society and raising children. That is your goal. That is your life. Not going to the bar, not going to the club and getting lit and getting super drunk and tatting up your body and all this extra stuff and getting fake butts and fake tits and fake abs if you're a dude because you still got to look good at 41. Listen, be healthy, absolutely. This sweater right here, my partner, she was my old partner when I was on the streets. She was a personal trainer, and she started training me to, you know, get the weight off of me. And this is an extra small. I mean, not extra, an extra large. When we were training, I was wearing 3X and sometimes 4X. I've got this on now. Extra large. So it's nothing wrong with getting healthy. I lost well over 100 pounds in the last year and a half. Nothing wrong with being healthy. But I'm not going to be, I don't care about being sexy. You know what I mean? I'm working out. My body's getting in shape and all that good stuff. But I'm not thinking about the tattoo I could get on my back so I could look sexy when I walk around with my shirt off. That's not in my thought process. Like, oh, you know, it's not something I care about. I just want to be healthy. That's it. I don't want to be sexy. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, I just don't care about that stuff anymore, man. I don't care. You know? Once again, I care about being a role model for that young man that's growing up with that testosterone. I care about being a role model for those beautiful girls who are becoming women. And I care about paying my bills. That's it. I'm not saying I'm right. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm looking at it from the wrong lens. Maybe you still should have a good time, strategic, you know. But I did that when I was young, man. I lived the Vila Loca. I did all kinds of crazy crap, you know. I can't run for president. You know, there are too many skeletons in the closet, man. You know what I mean? That's just real talk, bro. I'm 41. I'm not giving up on life. I'm not saying that I have to now, you know, act like I'm a grandpa. I just feel like there's more priorities out there than being jealous of your little girl because maybe she's pretty and you think you're not pretty anymore because gravity and father time is catching up to you. To me, that's pathetic. Let's keep going.
Go home, take the day off, relax, come back tomorrow. I said, all right, cool. That was it. As I'm walking out, the lady that called was like, you go suck, just the way my daughter sucked. And I walked out. And I guess that's what she did. So that's the story on what happened today. So yes, did I pull my daughter out of school? Yes. Did I speak to the principal today? Yes. Did I speak to her guidance counselor? Yes. Did I tell him everything I told you? Yes. Did I ask for help? Yes. Did I take her to the hotel to cut hair? Yes. Did I beat my daughter? No. Did I touch her? No. The most I did was cut her hair and smack her on the back of her head because I didn't expect this behavior from her. Other than that, you could just strip her butt naked and will not find not one bruise, not one fingerprint, not one anything because I did not hit her.
Priscilla was charged with domestic violence. According to witness statements, she had handcuffed her daughter inside a car in extreme heat, then took her into the hotel where she worked, where she allegedly beat her, shaved her hair, verbally abused the child, and forced a metal rod into her mouth. However, there were several gaps in her statements. She only mentioned cutting her daughter's hair, but
handcuffed her, brought her to the hotel, beat her up, shaved her head, stuck a metal rod in her mouth. We're going to be done soon. I want you guys to go and watch the rest of it on your own.
repeatedly emphasized that she never hit her. But exactly how true is this information? And could there be recordings to back up her version?
This lady is manic, man. She is nuts, bro. Like, this Mother's Day is not for you, ma'am. Mother's Day is not for you.
She's got a scratch on her cheek that's fairly new.
Okay.
Okay. So what else happened? Because that's not the only thing.
That was it. I hit her over the head like this. I was like, the f is your problem? And I grabbed the clippers and I cut her hair, and that was it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We'll stop it here because I got to get out of here. I don't want to spend my whole day here. It's already at 2 hours. 2 hours I spent with you beautiful people, man. It wasn't a wasted 2 hours. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. But I do have other priorities in life that I need to tend to. So you guys are amazing. Listen, guys, thank you so much. Some of you guys are naughty too. Phil DeBertot. Whatever that DeBerta. She said, I'm 64 and I got my 4th tattoo last month. We all know how you get down, Phil. You're a bad person. Terrible. Who else we got here? We got Zophiliac says, I'm at my point in my life where I'm okay with looking like a rat walking up next to my husband. He still likes it anyways. You do not look like a rat. Stop it. And yeah, you it's okay to be sexy for your husband. Don't forget that. We don't want your husband looking at anybody else. Keep up the good work. What else we got going on here? Whatever. You guys are great. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Sad stuff, man. But we had some good moments on the channel today, even though we were talking about some heavy topics. We got a lot of gift memberships, 23 new members to the channel. We appreciate you. And wow, 15 free gift memberships to the Patreon. I hope you guys enjoy. I had a good time. Happy Mother's Day, guys. Sorry I had to share with you some sad stories, but I mean, it's Mother's Day, but this is a true crime channel where we talk about horrible things. So I don't think that we get a break from those horrible things, right? It's just horrible no matter what day it is. But at least we spent some time together. You guys have been amazing. Please hit the like button on your way out the door. We actually had no moderators today. Obviously, it's Mother's Day, so my moderators are with their families, etc. So no bad behavior. No moderation needed Everybody here was cool, calm, and collected and respectful, and I definitely appreciate that. And that's big. That shows you how mature my audience is. Somebody made a comment earlier on where they're like, yo, this is an underrated channel. I think this channel should have way more exposure, way more subs, way more Patreon members, etc., all that good stuff. I appreciate that. But I want to just say that I'm okay with our growth. You know, we have 86,000 people of true believers, 86,000 people who really want to support the channel and support the mission that we're under. I rather 86,000 people where I could do a live with no moderators and everybody is cool, mature, respectful, than have 300,000 people and I got to have professional moderators in there that's like pulling in a salary and all that good stuff because there's a whole bunch of trolls, negative people, PD files, and monsters who will get into that chat and try and destroy the ambiance and destroy the peace. So, like I said, there's always a curse that comes with a blessing. So yes, it is a blessing to be able to have 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 1 million subscribers, but know that it does come with its heartaches. It does come with its negativity. So we're growing at a slow, steady pace, but we're growing with people who actually want to come here. We're growing with people who watch the show and say, wow, this was very probative. This was very informative. I want to be a part of this community. And to me, that's a blessing in itself. Slow, steady growth, growing with people who actually want to grow with you as well. So I will not give that up for nothing. I don't want to get a one show that's going to get me 100,000 subs and those people don't know who we are, don't really appreciate what we're trying to do, and in many instances are negative people. We'll keep doing what we do. Every month, we get between 1,000 to 2,000 new subscribers. That's what YouTube tells me, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Hopefully, by next year, we'll get 100,000 subs, 100,000 subs of true believers. Our mission is to give a voice to the voiceless. I haven't heard anybody else use that on YouTube. I hear some people trying to use it now. That's their business. This is what we really do. This is what we do on YouTube. This is what we do in the real world. No nonsense, real talk, giving a voice to the voiceless. And eventually, YouTube will catch up to what we're trying to do here. Anyway, guys, you guys are amazing. I'll see you guys on the next one. Let me set up that outro. Happy Mother's Day to all of you guys. You don't have to be a mother to enjoy Mother's Day. If you have nephews and nieces, you know, if you have friends' kids that you take care of from time to time, if you have any interaction, if you have no kids of your own, no family members you take care of, but you're a teacher, you're still giving motherly love to some kids. If you in any way touch the hearts and souls of children, then I'm going to say Happy Mother's Day to you. Because just as much as you could use that opportunity to touch those hearts and souls in a positive way, you could be touching those hearts and souls in a negative way as well. So if you are positively impacting children in some way and you have a vagina, I'm going to say Happy Mother's Day to you. So Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, regardless of how you impact these children, so long as it's positive. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.
you.